And we are live.
Pointy finger thing. Point
finger thing.
Point.
Welcome to the Morning Wood, where we get what, John Moron?
We get what it good.
Oh yeah, we get fucked in. Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Morning Wood with your greatest host, me. Okay.
You suck, Shabisky.
I'm always your host on the Morning Wood, the number one and only host, me, by myself. Oh my God, that's the way it's always been since the beginning.
Yeah, you created this 30 years ago,
something like that. I haven't been keeping track.
Yeah,
it was a while ago.
32 years ago, we'll just say.
Something around there.
We just retconned the shit out of this show. Awesome.
Oh damn! Send help? No, we're fine, Hat Man. We're fine. We got this dipshit. I mean, cool guy. I meant to say. Sorry, Gene.
It was supposed to be adult supervision, but I was the only one available, so that plan's just gone belly up.
Oh, what are we going to talk about today, Shabisky?
We're going to talk about my dick, okay? Now, how much do you love my dick? From a rating from 0 to 10, 10 being the best, 0 being the best. What's your favorite? What's your number?
I've never seen it. Comparing dick sizes isn't really, or I guess
you don't.
Dick quality isn't really something I think about.
You may have not seen it, but you felt it.
Oh, I've never met you in person, Shabisky. I don't know.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's act like that never happened. Okay, we never met.
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, Shabs.
Exactly.
I've actually never gone to Vegas.
See, yep. See, John gets it. See what he just did then?
I've never even been to Vegas.
Perfect. That's just perfect.
I'm falling for it.
Yeah, I've gone to all the states on the East Coast except for Georgia and North and South Carolina. And then I've gone to Texas, but I've never gone to like Nevada or California or any of the states in the far west.
You're a bad person, Gene.
Oh, you need to go do some gambling in Vegas then.
Yeah, do some blackjack.
Need to go to the Heart Attack Grill. They have the world record for the most calorific burger that has like over 8,000 calories or something like that.
Yeah, and what? You're speaking my language. Tell us more.
If you weigh over like 350 pounds, you get a free meal. And there were like several different, what are they? God, skipping on the term. But for like advertisement, like what's the proper term?
I don't know. They just sell shit. Yeah, doesn't matter. Tell us about the burgers.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, if you don't finish your meal, you get a spanking.
Ooh. Well, this sounds like my sort of place. Like, 8,000 calorie burgers and spankings. I'm in. I'm sold. The concept has been approved. I want to open up a franchise in Australia to spank people.
Spank them whether or not they finish their food.
Yeah, just spank them as they walk in and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Random spankings.
Oh, damn.
We'll just change the whole restaurant.
Where's our two girls at? We're having this is a crazy sausage fest in here. It's getting weird.
Yeah,
two girls. Did you say Marilyn Manson, or Marshall Manson?
Marilyn and Missy. I don't know where she's at. She's off playing with her butthole or something.
No, Missy's getting her second COVID jab, so she will be fully inoculated.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. She never said when she was gonna be back from that. Okay, never mind. That's probably why she didn't show up.
Yeah, it's probably why, because she's not at home. Yeah.
Well, I remember her saying that she was getting the shot early, but I didn't know what time exactly. And now you reminded me. Stop making me feel dumb, Red Eye. Okay.
Oh, Landon said hi to me. Hi, Landon.
Landon, don't even pay attention to him.
He's saying hi to the other John.
Landon, say hi to me and this
too
guy.
Many people named John.
Oh, it's a cork sniffer. Hello, cork sniffer.
He's probably talking to John Lewis Vega. Yeah.
Well, it was a
Flaming.
fucking huge day in launching shit into space. The Chinese have now got a space station of their very own because we didn't invite them to play on the ISS, and they got a bit upset about that. So they went, fuck you guys, and launched their own one. So they're now up in orbit, and we're probably going to have space wars with them soon, and we'll be throwing stuff at each other's space stations. It's going to be great. And the rock plane, which is that huge big, it's got the biggest wingspan ever of a plane, that is right now flying around on its second test flight. And they're going to launch things off that into orbit, they hope. And that plane is fucking big. 6 jumbo jet engines hanging off the wings. It's huge. Fucking huge.
You know, China is planning on sending men to the moon. So apparently, I thought Russia actually had, they set men on the moon or whatever, but apparently the U.S. is the only country that's done it so far.
Yeah. There's a lot of countries that have slammed things into the moon and landed things. There's what's the Chinese probe on the dark side of the moon is Jade Rabbit, I do believe they called that one. So they're getting telemetry on the dark side of the moon and just getting lots of data. The space race is officially back on, and I'm kind of stoked. I just hope it doesn't get militarized. That's all. Because seeing private companies in bidding wars with NASA and seeing Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos fight, I am so fucking entertained by this whole thing. It's great. I just want NASA to have the best system, and I don't think SpaceX is going to be the one because they so far have just been exploding lots of test beds into the dirt or exploding them in the air as they try and turn them vertical to land. It's good fun to watch, though. Rapid disassemblies are awesome. So, yeah, space race back on. Fucking stoked. Landon's happy. Look, he just did a big wee in the chat. Wow, lucky Pimp's not here. He'd get really pissed off at that one. I'm going to allow it.
Elon Musk has been under a lot of scrutiny because of, like, the Hyperloop. A lot of other...
Well, let's talk about the Hyperloop. Let's go back to what he boasted about, and let's go back and let's look at what currently is in Vegas. Elon Musk is the monorail salesman from The Simpsons. You remember the Simpsons episode where they got a monorail? Did the big dance routine and basically the dude flim-flammed the town and fucked off with all their money and ripped them off. Well, Hyperloop promised this high-speed transport network underneath the ground, and it was going to be great, and there's going to be these automated bubble car things that you sit in and they do 150 miles an hour. Well, the reality is it's Teslas. He's selling Teslas to people. So started out with promising this bullshit. You ended up with a fleet of Teslas in overpriced tunnels with RGB lighting. And that's the fucking Hyperloop that's open right now. If you go and look at what he spruiked and what's actually been delivered, it's just like, how did he, what? It monorail, dun, 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 and then he fucks off with the briefcase of money. He did it. He nailed it. He is flim-flammed that fucking city, and there's other cities lining up to fucking give him buckets of money, and they're dumb as fuck, in my humble opinion. That's a flim-flam. If you go and look at what was originally promised and what he has delivered, it's fucking bullshit. Sorry, but yeah, not a Musk fan. Dude's a douchebag.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that he's kind of like, he's got a big imagination, everything. So I don't think his original plan was to like scam people, but I think he wasn't able to execute it. So I think he engaged in mental gymnastics to convince himself that like, I guess this is kind of like a Hyperloop. And I guess other people engaged in mental gymnastics because they kind of also want it to be true and they idolize Musk. So
the cult of Musk. You nailed it, dude. Now go and look at when he first started talking about the Hyperloop. He didn't come up with that idea. That concept is 100 fucking years old. Fuck off, Phil. And I've watched the interviews. I've come up with this crazy idea. I've even got a name for it. I call it Hyperloop. And the chick nearly slips off her seat in excitement. She goes, "Oh, Elon, Hyperloop, tell us more." It's like, fuck off. And the tunnel thing, he come to Australia and he promised, I can build tunnels 10 times cheaper than anyone else. And one of our best tunneling engineers just come straight out the next day and went, Elon Musk is full of shit. If you can do it, fucking do it now. we're waiting, and he still hasn't done it because he can't do it at the prices he promised because he's full of shit. $100 stream goal, said the boss. So and again, I'd like to say thank you really quick to the person that bought that PC off Pimp's wish list. You are made of 50 different sorts of awesome sauce. Thank you very much. That was awesome. So yeah, what he's promised and what he's delivered are two different things. And some of the things he's doing with SpaceX, I'm kind of cool with, like the reusing of the rockets and stuff. But this belly flop idea and trying to land a rocket from terminal velocity at 500 meters in the air, he's pancaked how fucking many of them now. They just keep blowing up, and it's so much fun to watch the rapid disassemblies. But the Hyperloop is just flim-flam. That's the monorail salesman, in my opinion.
It's kind of odd. He's like one of the top 3 richest people on the planet right now.
He is too. Tesla's going to make him a lot of money.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, I don't know. Doesn't he have like bipolar disorder? I think that is confirmed. So I think he's the kind of guy who just kind of has these like manic fantasies, and he's got a lot of money and a lot of yes men, and all those things don't really mix well together.
No. I think you might have nailed it there, because I've got bipolar, and you just don't want to put me in charge of anything more important than taking out the fucking garbage, because I'm still going to fuck that up. So having him running all that shit. Look, the dude's got it going on, and he is a good businessman. When his brain's firing the right way, PayPal was a complete success. He fucking made how much money off that? I'm not trying to say that he's a bad businessman. I'm just saying his SpaceX, for instance, his little array of satellites that are flying around the planet, that's just shit. That's ruining astronomy. He doesn't give a fuck because he's going to make money, and he's a hero. People and the cult of Elon lap it up. It's quite strange to watch it, and I'm kind of glad Bezos has come out and fighting him on this NASA thing, because NASA only gave him that contract based on monetary stuff. It wasn't anything to do with the systems. In fact, I think the NASA engineers prefer Origin Blue system for it's a higher amount of safety, just more of a chance of bringing back people. But because Elon would accept some of the finances paid yearly instead of getting a lump sum up front, they went with SpaceX. So he got that contract based on finances, not on technology. If it was technologically based evaluation, Origin Blue probably would have won. But yeah, Elon sucks.
Pim says not to say flim flam on the show ever again, Red Eye, or you're getting your pussy pounded.
Ooh.
Yeah, flim flam Scooby-Doo character?
I'm not sure. It's just a saying for when someone's doing some shady shit. A bit of a scammer, the flim flammer.
A lot of SpaceX, their projects have been contributing to like space junk, and like if space junk gets like pervasive enough, it will actually like cause a lot of problems with space travel, because they won't be able to successfully like launch certain satellites or vessels out of orbit because there's too much debris like within like Earth's like orbitational like belt and everything.
Yeah, well, orbital mechanics are a funny thing. You wouldn't think of it, but a fleck of paint about as big as your thumbnail. If you're out doing a spacewalk in your spacesuit and it could have a velocity of 10,000 kilometers per hour when it hits you, right? And that's going to make a horrible. We're really lucky we haven't lost astronauts to We've had micrometeorites punch through satellites and all sorts of things. I think even the ISS has been hit by a couple of micrometeorites and punched holes in it. So it's a dangerous place. And the more shit we throw up there, like for instance, when the Chinese went, oh, we're going to just test this missile, and launched a missile and blew up a satellite in orbit, and it just shotgunned debris into that orbital tract, and it's just been raining down for years. So now and again, you got the ISS has got to adjust its orbit to get out of the way of certain bits of shit. It's not good, and there's actually going to be big money in people that come up with the technology to clean up the junk that's in orbit. There's Australian companies researching ways to do it. There's been companies looking at using lasers to just push things to give them a nudge to get them to either fall out of orbit or to push them out of orbit, just using high-powered lasers. All sorts of cool shit. But yeah, you're absolutely right about space junk. It's a serious issue.
I've seen like certain models of like drones that have like nets.
Gene.
What?
What is that on your face?
What do you mean?
Move your mic.
Fuck you, Shabisky. Do you not
never
want
mind. I won't point out your herpes breaking out. Okay, I'm sorry, Gene. I didn't mean to do that live on stream. Okay,
you're a turd, Shab.
Do you have anything to say about astronomy or space junk or space?
Yeah, I love
astrology.
astrology. I love when they can make shapes out of stuff in the sky and stuff.
I
like
want to
bunny
murder you
rabbits.
so badly right now, Shab. I just want to wrap my hands.
Astrology's the greatest. Okay,
I want to
how we
squeeze your neck
figure out things. Astrology
until your head pops like a zit, Shab. Pop your head like a zit.
Oh damn.
Astrology. Shab's into the No,
no. It would pop like a zit too. It's just full of cum.
Oh.
See.
We didn't need to know that. That's we really didn't. We really need Missy here to chaperone us. We need some adult supervision. We do.
We don't need that. Adults are dumb.
No. We I think we need an adult.
Nope. Adults is dumb.
Did you see the speaking of astrology, the Orville episode where they go to the one planet and it turns out that the primary religion is still based around astrology, and they pretty much have concentration camps where if people are born within a certain time of year based on the constellations, they pretty much just throw them in a concentration camp just based on their like astrology signs or whatever.
Yeah, that was a weird show. It's quite a fucking scary concept to think about. It's just like, I will arbitrarily use this reason to persecute a certain section of society. Just pick a random reason. Kind of like the Star Trek episode where you had the dudes that were painted in black and white and they were arguing, and the Enterprise crew didn't fucking get it because they just looked at these dudes and saw half black, half white. And then one of them said, he's white on the left side and I'm black on the left side. And can't you see that, you idiots? And they're trying to literally kill each other in front of the Enterprise crew just on that arbitrary thing. So, yeah.
It's like what Rick and Morty, the cone nipple race versus the spear nipple race.
Yeah, and it was South Park did the atheists versus the new all the atheists fighting amongst themselves. That was a great episode.
Yeah, and it's just over the name. It's the United Atheist Legion. We're at war with them.
That's the one. Fucking, that was just crazy. But yeah, it goes to show that we'll fight over just about anything.
Yeah, humans love fighting.
Yeah, otters, that's right, Galen. Fucking otters. Otters and ostriches, that's right. And what did Carmen want? He just wanted a fucking video game console. Wii. That's right. All of that for a Nintendo Wii. Oh.
I was like in middle school when the Wii came out, and it was like 2 years before the Wii was like readily available in stores. So like there's a 2-year gap where it was like impossible to get a Wii because they were pretty much always off the shelves, and you could sell them for like double or triple the price on eBay because they were so hard to find because they were in such high demand. And it was like the worst console of that generation. And it kind of shows that that's why you shouldn't appeal to popularity.
Yeah, that fear of missing out's a thing, and you just got to go on eBay and have a look at what happened with the PlayStation 5 launch. It's like those things were getting sold at ridiculous prices. And same with video cards when the RTX 3000 series launched. People just go fucking crazy. And with COVID creating a little bit of a problem with manufacturing, it's actually creating a little bit of a thing with scarcity. Kind of, sort of. And you better believe that companies and corporations are going to fucking cash in on that shit. Big time. So.
Yeah, what are we going to do without video games?
Yeah, so let's keep an eye on the prize. $100 goal. We got to hit that thing, because if we don't, boss is going to send someone around to beat me up, and it's not good. Really hurts when I do that. Yeah, so Shabby, what have you been up to?
Being a cool guy, eating yogurt, smoking weed, making fun of Gene on my spare time. I don't know. We've been doing movie night. What's the movie we watched lately, Gene?
Was it Airplane? That's the last one.
We watched Airplane.
I had you watch Les Mis.
Mm-hmm. Jesus
Think
Christ.
of that, Chad. About Titus.
Tight ass. I need to remind myself of
Yeah. And I had
what it
Chad
looked
watch
like.
Henry V.
Holy shit. How are you managing him to is there a gun involved pointing at him for?
Well, at the end of Henry V, when the narrator was talking to the audience, and he was discussing Henry V's reign and how successful it was, and how Henry VI succeeded him and ruined everything Henry V accomplished. And then Shab's like, that guy didn't seem very impressed with their marriage. He wasn't talking about their marriage. He was talking about his successor and everything. He's like, then why didn't he just say that? I'm like, he did.
You've got the attention span of a goldfish with ADD, dude. I swear
They
to
talk
God.
weird.
Yeah,
Hey, it's not my fault. They need to learn how to talk normal like me. Okay?
They weren't speaking English.
All right. So
It's like you, Red Eye.
fair enough, mate. Fair enough. You got me there.
God damn it. Talk like me.
Please save the show now.
Sound like your cheeks are full of food like a chipmunk or something, Red Eye. What the hell?
Oh, I don't know. I'm halfway around the world and it's night time and I'm sleepy, but I'm here. I have got a Snickers bar. I might just start eating that and just mute myself and ignore you for 2 minutes if you keep giving me shit, though.
I'm sorry. Can I have some of it?
No. Fuck you. Fuck you very much.
On, Low Energy's stream, and they were talking about candy, and they were talking about the difference between British candy and American candy. So I bought on Amazon this British chocolate bar pack. So I'm thinking of doing a video where I'll try out some British candy and compare it to some of the American chocolate bar brands, because apparently people from Europe think American chocolate is gross. They claim that there's this tardiness to it.
It's hard to explain, but I bit into a Hershey bar, the Hershey chocolate bar, and I had one bite of it, and I was really fucking disappointed. It was so ordinary. It was dry. I think one of the things is that in Australia, for instance, if you say it's chocolate, it's got to have a certain percentage of cocoa, at least 15%. And I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist as a regulation in America. So what they call chocolate would call choc flavored over here. And I think and Cadbury chocolate, we were raised on that. That's kind of like the benchmark for British and Australian people, I guess, would be Cadbury dairy milk chocolate. And that shit's delicious. Now, I have tried some other American chocolate that was really good. Landon gave me some rather expensive stuff, and it has 3 different sorts in it. And one of it was 72% cocoa. So it's really epically dark chocolate. Fucking decadent as hell. So
is that a Lin bar?
No, Landon will be able to tell. What was the brand of chocolate you left in my fridge, Landon? Because I just finished the last bit this week. I've been cherishing. I pull out a little bit once a month and eat a square of it. It was so good. Yeah, adult supervision has arrived. Hello, Missy.
It's Missy.
Save the show.
Oh
We're killing it. We strangled it. We pooped on it. We're so sorry.
Gene, it was mainly Gene that fucked it up.
Look at the psychotic look we're getting. I'm frightened. I'm terrified right now. It's like, we're going to die. We ruined the show. Missy's cranky. Run.
No, I'm not cranky. I just got my vaccine.
Ah.
My second vaccine. So
All right.
I'm not dead yet.
If you start feeling ordinary, let us know.
Okay.
But hopefully you'll be right. Actually, you're a woman. You won't even show signs of it. We men, like the man flu, we start getting the sniffles and it's like we're fucking dying. So, oh, well.
No. I mean, I was fine after the first one. My arm was just a little sore, so I don't really expect to be feeling icky from this one.
Cool.
No, I think we'll be all right. So what have you guys been doing besides ruining the show?
Well, we're talking about like space junk, and Shab was mocking my skin because he was a bully.
Shab is not a bully. You are just far too sensitive.
Yeah, you bitch.
Shab harasses me all the time, and he contributes to me having emotional breakdowns.
You have to have emotions to have an emotional breakdown first, Gene.
Ooh.
And that is something that you lack. So I have to call bullshit.
Kitty has claws, saucer of milk for table 3. Meow.
Wow.
All right.
Anyway.
So that brand of chocolate is in the chat. Landon wrote it. I'm not going to try and pronounce that because I will butcher it.
Ghirardelli. I love Ghirardelli chocolate. It's Ghirardelli.
It's so good. Like the 72% dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm. They also have like I think a 9, unless that's the Lindor one. But I know Ghirardelli makes my favorite one, which is the dark chocolate and salted caramel.
I had some of that too. So
that's
good.
My favorite.
It was cloudy. It's a pretty cloudy day now. Oh, what, Chap? What are you doing, Chap?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to do something. Stop. Don't yell at me. Okay?
I was just about to give you some of my chocolate bar. Now you can fuck off again.
Dude, let me eat your chocolate.
No.
I like the Toblerone bars.
They're pretty good. I don't mind Toblerone. It's all
right. I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just biased to the little triangles.
It's weird. Have you seen the huge big blocks? It's like they make blocks so big, I'm pretty sure I could club someone to death with one. Like it's kilos of chocolate with basically a serrated fucking edge on it. It's like, it's weaponized chocolate. I kind of...
It's like something like Willy Wonka's military or his security unit would have.
I reckon if you hit someone with one of these big blocks, you'd fucking knock them out. They're huge. Oh, what's the other? Oh,
I did get some weird chocolate. I think it's still in the freezer, actually. It's some Mexican, like, stone ground chocolate, but it's, like, super gritty. And I don't understand why the chocolate needs to be gritty.
Yeah, and was it you guys that someone in America decide, like, I like chocolate and I like chili, and then they just got chocolate and chili and went... and then started putting chili in chocolate? Because
I think it's just because
I've never
they like putting spicy shit on everything. Like they're making everything spicy for no fucking reason. Yeah, if they can add hot sauce to it, they're gonna add hot sauce to it. So they figured, chocolate, let's go.
Yeah, well, this chocolate, we got this in one of the malls near me. There's a little shop that has all American candies and snacks, and what's the other one? Those things that just get red hot. Are they cinnamon balls? What are they?
Fireballs?
Yeah, it's basically candy that catches on fire in your mouth. It's red hot.
Fireballs.
What the fuck?
They're balls. They're called fireballs. They're little red candies, and you suck on them, and they're super, 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 super hot until you get all the red stuff off, and then they're like kind of like a hot, sweet cinnamon.
Yeah, because I was given one and they went, tell us what you think. And I didn't get the warning about the spiciness of it. Like, it's not super hot, but when you're expecting something sweet and then it starts to heat up hotter than a...
Or Red Hots, yeah. They're Red Hots, too. I forgot about those.
Yeah, the cinnamon balls. And I was terrified. Like, I'm going, why is the candy burning my mouth? Just sort of, nah.
Fireballs are my ex's favorite because they have like Fireball like liquor. I don't think it's vodka. It's just fire. It's just spicy cinnamon. It's called Fireball something. But he liked to take the Fireball candy and suck on that while doing the shots of Fireball.
Jesus.
It's just
Christ.
like hot, spicy cinnamon.
I'm intrigued now.
Well, I know it's not candy, but one of my favorite snacks is wasabi peas.
Yeah?
Yeah. I know those are a lot of people.
Whiskey, that's what it is. Thank you, Raisin. I could not think for the life of me what that was.
A cinnamon whiskey. All right.
Mm.
I got to try that.
It's really good. It's kind of like if you've ever had Aftershock, which is the it's I don't think Aftershock is whiskey, but there's rock candy in the bottom of the bottle. Like it's like a cinnamon sweet heat kind of shot.
Wow.
And then there's Fireball, which I mean is the hot, hot.
Yeah, America's fascination with hot stuff is cool because Landon sent me a whole collection of Tabasco sauces. So I got stuff that you won't see on the market shelf. I got like this, was it raspberry Tabasco?
Ew.
I tried it on ice cream as a dare. Jackie upstairs went, I dare you. I'll give you $20 if you have some of that on ice cream. And it wasn't fucking bad.
I saw a TikTok where a guy said, I have invented the best cereal in the world. And it is hot Cheetos or Takis. Like, I think it was Takis, the hot Takis. And then he just poured hot sauce as milk and just started eating the Takis with the hot sauce.
And what he's going to do to his toilet is going to be a fucking war crime.
What do you think about people who eat cereal with water?
I think that they just are, homicidal maniacs, or they can't afford milk, one or the other.
Yeah. If they're allergic to dairy, I'll allow it. I'll tolerate their existence. But if they're doing it because...
If you're allergic to dairy and eat it, just eat the cereal fucking dry.
Well, what about almond milk or coconut milk?
Well... Coconut milk, yeah, I'll allow that. That's pretty legit and it's good. But almond milk, it's like I've never met a fucking plant with nipples that produces milk, so I'm with Pimp on this one.
I'm being a douche. They're just calling it milk, but it's I
was being a dick. Yeah, I was just representing Pimp. By the way, $100 goal. We got to hit that, or else I'm getting the shit kicked out of me by hired goons.
Yes,
actually, that's you'll probably not pay now. So if you don't pay, I'm going to get beat up. If you do pay, well, how's it going to work? Well, just donate fucking money. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Mate,
I don't want to get yelled at.
Yeah. I'm going to get beat up or not beat up.
I don't like getting yelled at, guys.
Nah, being yelled at sucks.
Shabby, you want to do a weed with me?
Yeah, we could take a big fat dab. Red Eye's never smoked a weed in his whole life.
What's a weed?
Do you want to do a weed?
No,
it
sounds
an
scary.
Imaginary weed.
My mum said
Gene Morgan to do a weed.
That would be, yeah.
Can we get you to do a weed with us, Gene?
I don't have any.
Don't share
you're in
the
Baltimore.
pipe.
Just go outside and be like, I need weed, and see who answers you.
Well, it is Baltimore, so.
Right.
The police will know where there's some weed.
Yeah, go ask them.
Can you imagine someone going up to a police officer? Like, hi, officer, I'm new in town. Can you point me to the direction of the best drug dealers that have the most dankest of buds, please?
Yeah. If you go to an American cop, you'll probably get killed.
Not me, I'm white.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine. I'm an Australian tourist.
That was racist and bad. I did it bad. That was bad, huh?
You're grounded,
Wow.
Missy. No more hot sauce and chocolate.
Racist because a lot of cops are racist in America.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said they wouldn't shoot me, because I'm white.
Yeah.
Which I think is absolutely insane, because that kid was walking down the street with a fucking AK-47 around his neck and nobody shot him. And, another chick is sleeping in her bed and she gets gunned down. It's just fucking insanity. I hate American police officers.
Well, I have a story lined up for our next Sunday stream.
Oh,
and
yeah?
we covered last Sunday. There's a woman with dementia that the cops like pretty much arrested and tackled to the ground and everything. They broke her arm, and apparently there's a video that was leaked of them laughing at the footage. So they were looking at their body cam footage, laughing at the fact that they broke this woman's arm who had dementia.
God.
Yeah.
That's terrible. There's a big billboard by my house. If you go down around the corner a little bit, and it says that the city that I live in is looking and hiring for police officers, and come join the best for. And it's just comical to me because I've never seen billboards advertising for hiring police officers in my life, and they must be getting really, really desperate. Like, what happens when nobody wants to be a police officer anymore? What are they going to do?
Well, I think like a lot of the people who just want to abuse their power and being an Uber citizen, like that's starting to change. So they're losing that demographic, which I think unfortunately makes up like probably at least half of like all the people who like even want to be cops.
I got a really hot, spicy take on all this. I say you increase funding to the police and adopt the Sunnyvale model of community protection.
What's that?
For America? Well, I'll let you guys look into the town of Sunnyvale and how they do things there, because they don't do things like other towns. For instance, the police...
TV town or a real town?
It's a real town.
Okay.
I know the former deputy mayor. And so do you. So do you. And so do you.
Is
right?
it Landon?
Yeah.
Hey,
and
Landon.
what they enacted on his watch was, instead of having a police force, a fire department, and a medical service, you had one group cross-trained in all three disciplines, and they're very well paid. And what the goal is instead of just hiring people to police the community, you hire really ultra qualified people to serve your community, and you do things differently. Like the police, the police. The first thing that happened was that the police have priorities on things they like to do, and the highest priority was investigate murders. Well, that got put to the fucking bottom of the list, because once you're investigating a murder, it's a bit too late, isn't it? Because someone's fucking dead. So why not invest in your community in early intervention programs and community programs and little leagues and things like that? And you have the guys that serve in this community protection group that are cross-trained in fire, community protection instead. I won't even call it policing, we'll call it community protection, and medical stuff. They're also the people that are doing the little league stuff and the basketball stuff, and this community's. I think if you go and look at some statistics, you'll be quite surprised at the difference between some of the other places that have riots and police going fucking crazy. It's definitely, you get what you pay for at the end of the day. And I would advocate that you have a look at this Sunnyvale model of what they did there, because it seems to, because they enacted this decades ago and it fucking works, in my humble opinion. I'll leave it up to you guys to make up your own mind, but have a look at what they did there and maybe talk to your local people and use it as a model, because I think it's worth looking at. It hasn't fixed everything, but it's definitely improved relations between the group of people that serve and protect their community and the citizens. And at the end of the day, that's what you want, because you don't want towns without police, because then you get Mogadishu. And if you've ever seen Black Hawk Down, that's Mogadishu, where you have fucking warlords running around. So the most well-armed people are the strongest of what, you don't want that. You want a nice civil society, but you also don't want police running around shooting people and then going, oops, my bad, I thought it was a taser.
Well, that's just that bitch is just, she was trigger happy and wanted to kill people.
No, I'll put it to you like this. Have you ever been in a nightclub and gone to have a cigarette and lit your cigarette and you've lit the filter? it's one of those moments on a scale that's staggeringly so much more fucked up that it's not funny. But I honestly don't believe she knew. I honestly believe she thought she had a taser, because when she says 2 words, "oh shit," you listen to the tone of her voice. She's fucking shocked, because she's heard the bang and gone, "oh shit," and looked down and gone, "I shot him." She wasn't trying to cover it up.
Of it, because from what I understand, that woman has been in law enforcement and practicing law since like 93 or 97. I can't remember which one it is. So, a good 20 something years. And he was saying, I've been in law enforcement for about the same amount of time. And he had his belt on, and he was like, the taser goes on this side and the handle faces this way. The gun goes on this side and the handle faces the opposite way. So there are 2 different grips, 2 different directions, and 2 very different weights on 2 different sides of your body. So I can't understand how she fucked that up. Not being like, maybe if she had been an officer who had, been only in law enforcement for a few years, didn't really have a lot of experience, but this is an officer who's been, in law enforcement for 20 something years.
Yeah. And it was in the heat of a moment where an officer was potentially in danger of being dragged away by a car. And I've seen officers go under cars by being dragged. There's plenty of footage, police officers getting fucking put under cars. It's horrifying. Now, again, she fucked up. I'm not trying to say she didn't fuck up, but I honestly think she made a horrendously fucking big mistake, not trying to play it down or anything like that. But I honestly don't believe she pulled out her gun on purpose and went bang. I think she honestly thought in the heat of that fucking moment where it's all going down in a split second, she's fucking just gone reach, pull, and thought her brain's gone, I've got my gun. But I've lit a cigarette the wrong way around at least 30 times in nightclubs in my time. And the first time I did it, I went, I'll never do that again.
But in a nightclub, you're drunk, correct?
No.
You're drinking, you're impaired.
No. I'm sober. I was sober, been there for 20 minutes, and I've done it because it's dark and I just wasn't fucking paying attention to what I was doing. But I'm just trying to
I think that's an example. Is like the paying attention. I feel like but she just wasn't. She didn't have all of her thinking caps.
She fucked up big time, and there's a man that's dead that shouldn't be fucking dead, and that's a tragedy. And there will be a price to be paid for that, and she's going to have her day in court, and they're going to come down on her like a ton of fucking bricks, because that big thick blue wall that used to fucking form around officers to protect them, the last 18 months that's been blown the fuck away, and it no longer forms. It's a massive change in how things go down, and gives me hope for the future. Again, not trying to say anything's
blowing away. Landon just blew away half of the goal that we have for the stream by donating $50 via the PayPal link. Thank you, Landon. You are amazing as always. So we have $800 stream goal, which is now down to $50. I think we can make that $50 goal, guys, for Pimp. Let's do that.
Yeah. Please. Hey, Missy, what time is it?
It's the second hour.
Damn. So what do we do?
We're e-demanding like we're doing right now. So again, let's fill up that goal, guys. We only need $50. I think we can do it. I think we can get it done. There is a couple different links in the description, I think. I haven't looked at the description, but I believe they're in there. Raisin Girl just put up the PayPal link for Pimp in the chat. There is also a Patreon link for Shabby in the chat, and he's amazing. And I think you should go sub to him and be his patron, because he will do movie nights where he may even touch your butt. It's not guaranteed, but he may touch your butt in a movie night.
Or my butt.
Or his butt, and you can watch. That's always fun.
Or at least listen.
Mm-hmm. Listening to butt touching is just as erotic.
Oh my god!
Butt touching itself.
I'm moist. Wow.
I have a Patreon link. If you like titties, come on over. John Morgan is over there. He's got a channel. Me and Shab go over there, and we get pedantic with his pedestrian ass every Sunday.
Yep.
So you can go
Watched,
sub in too.
Well, they actually blocked my stream from last Sunday. And the
Stop.
Sparkler was on.
Why?
Because,
What did y'all do?
No, there was a stream where we showed like a dog nursing like kittens, and apparently got a copyright from that video. So I have to trim that out and re-upload it. And it's kind of odd that that's the video that we got like a copyright strike from.
Yeah, because there's been a couple of videos that have been played that I've been like questionable, like, oh shit, are we gonna get like striked for the music in this one? Or, you know, like, oh, we haven't paused enough here, so I don't think it's transformative enough. Like, there's been a few times that I've thought that personally, but nothing's ever come of it. So I thought, you know, it's just me overreacting. But a fucking dog nursing kittens seems like an odd thing to get a strike for.
Yeah,
Is there a music track on the clip of the dog and kitten? No, just
It's just a typical animal vid.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
Very
But yeah, last week we talked about Rodrigo Duterte and the drug war in the Philippines and the military conflict in Cameroon, where the government's sending in soldiers to burn down villages and the territory that wants to secede. So the world's fucked up, and
it was a happy, jolly stream, like always.
We're talking about all these kids starving in Yemen because of Saudi Arabia and their rations on the country. So
you always pick the most upbeat and uplifting.
We live in a very fucked up world, and I think that a lot of people, like especially in the U.S. and in developed parts of the world, are not very mindful of just
I think we all know how fucked up the world is.
Well, in real life, outside the internet, a lot of people that I know, I think, they're like suburbanites, and you have a lot of Karens, people who freak out because somebody got their food wrong at a restaurant. And I think, like, do these people know that like 80% of the world's population lives on less than $10 a day? I think a lot of people are very naive when it comes to just how good their lifestyle is compared to the overwhelming majority of people.
I don't think so. I think
I don't know. Like, we were talking about the blue wall of silence, and it's like 2020, and it's kind of odd that it's taken this long in the history of the modern age and everything to get to the point where it's like, oh yeah, just because a person should go about their job a certain way doesn't mean they will. There's such a thing as flawed practice, and when you give people authority, they tend to abuse it. And I know so many, a lot of my relatives are educators. And if you talk about teachers, abusing, being verbally or emotionally abusive towards students. And it's the same thing with police brutality, where there's cameras everywhere now. So we're seeing that cops step out of line all the time. We see it with educators.
I think that our cameras should be like the cameras over in the UK, where they have CCTV on every fucking corner with 30 different cameras watching you. Because then I think people would behave a little bit better.
Yeah, but I'm saying now, the fact that pretty much everything's being recorded compared to previous decades, we're starting to see now that every kid has an HD camera in their pocket. You'll see that educators will constantly step out of line and abuse their authority over students. And when you talk to a lot of people who are teachers, they'll be like, no, they're the teachers. They're supposed to know better, therefore they do know better.
I think
there's no flawed institution, there's no flawed policy.
I think those kinds of things have been happening for hundreds of years.
Yeah, and people turn their brains off because it's wishful thinking. I don't want X to be true, therefore it's not true. I don't want to believe that a decent percentage of people, if you give them authority, they'll abuse it. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's the problem. There are a lot of scenarios where it's hey, this person's being called out on engaging in flawed practice, and we're not going to consider that they're guilty of flawed practice because people doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing, that doesn't happen. And you have
you
the
sure
few bad
know
apples
how
policy.
To lighten the mood, John. I just every time I hang out with you, it's so uplifting. And
Gene, run on your treadmill for us some more.
I already ran on my treadmill a couple weeks ago.
I didn't see it.
Well,
You
Pim,
said like a couple weeks ago.
Pim
Yeah, that's
said
why you're
that
getting
he
fat,
saw a
Gene.
story.
Get back on the treadmill.
getting fat.
Run a mile real quick. Yes, Gene. Come on.
I'm not saying nothing, man. I'm just sitting here, just.
So
Shut up
you
and
know
kiss
how
me,
you're
man.
Shabichu, right?
Yeah.
And Dirt is going to be making like Pokemon for, all. What Pokemon would Gene be?
Well, we're kind of. I wasn't sure if we were gonna keep with the same idea of just necessarily Pokemon rather than just like cartoon characters and yeah. He was. I don't know. Dirt was talking about because it's it's kind of a meme. Gene being like a buff nerd. So Dirt was talking about making like I believe like a Hulk like dude that's like red instead of green, and is nerdy
with some
Gene.
nerdy glasses
Yeah.
on, and, like a bunch of books, and like the Beast character from X-Men, but red. Wasn't he like a doctor and he turned into like a beast? I don't know X-Men that well.
So.
Yeah, but that guy's. I mean,
Well,
Gene's
he was
pretty
a
small
scientist.
and stuff, but that's not the meme that Gene's
I'm small.
No. You're just
Yeah,
a buff nerd, so we need to make you big and nerdy
Oh yeah, Gene Smash.
and red.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget $50 on that goal. If we don't reach it, we're going to send Landon to your house, and you're going to have to do mathematics. So,
Oh shit!
right, and he's going to make you do maths for a week. Going to have to do trigonometry and all of that, all of those ones, the algebras and all of the other ones that you don't like.
Something in chemistry right now, actually,
Discrete
that I was going to
mathematics.
ask Landon about, and now I forgot what it was.
Oh, and you don't get to use a calculator. You have to use a fucking abacus to add all of the shit up, right? So $50, or you're using an abacus for potentially several months to work out some maths problems. Choose your fate.
Abstract algebra. You know what that is?
No?
It's where there aren't any numbers. It's just variables.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Maths makes me enraged. I've had this horrible relationship with mathematics ever since I was a kid. I do really well in science, everything but maths. And here's the really sad part: to be really, really good at science, you have to be pretty fucking good at maths. So I was just like, shit. So yeah.
Well, I think one of the reasons why like most people have an issue with math is because it's very kind of dry, especially in high school, where the way they teach it is it's just like go through the textbook. Here's like the odd numbers are classwork, the even numbers are homework, and it's just you're going through and it's just plugging and chugging the numbers in the formula, and it's very monotonous, very dry, and I can see how like most people would get very bored with it. And I think math becomes very interesting. Like I went to school for like engineering and computer science once it's applied. So like discrete mathematics, I mentioned that, like that's predicate logic and parameter logic. So that's where they like apply like it's not like numerical math, but they apply like these equations to like these like logical word problems. And then like statistics, I think, is a good class that really applies math to the real world. And physics is, I'd say, kind of falls within the math genre. And physics also shows like how to apply these formulas to the real world and everything. And I'd say if you hate trig, they do teach you quite a bit about trig if you take like an introductory physics class in college. So I'd recommend physics. But I think that one of the things they need to do to make math more interesting is they need to take these numbers and actually apply it to real world problems, because once those numbers have meaning, then math starts to actually become fun and enjoyable. But when it's just, hey, you're plugging and chugging these numbers into these formulas to get these results, and these results
I am going to have
anything.
Shab plug and chug your butt if you don't stop fucking boring
Yeah,
me to
Gene, come
goddamn
here.
death.
Bend over, Gene. Coming for that booty. That big red booty.
He's gonna plug and chug your butthole.
My biggest problem with maths at school was when they'd give you a formula and go x plus this, blah, 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 and they go, what is the value of x? That shit used to just fucking drive me nuts. Because, And from that day on, I just went, you know what, fuck maths. But the teachers couldn't work me out because I would get like 90+% in science. When I went into biology, I did really well in biology, did really well in geology. Mathematics, I fucking always just bombed out and I wouldn't do any of the work.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like what Dirt says. Shut up, John. Susie wants 420 watermelons and each have 123 seeds.
Yeah, Gene.
Oh, no.
Idiot.
What was the fucking one? If a train's traveling along fucking a track at 40 miles an hour and the track is 23 fucking miles long, how long will it take the train to get there?
Oh, that's like an essay. That's an SAT question.
I hate that. That's that. I used to just go.
They are getting rid of the SATs. I think starting next year, a lot of colleges are no longer going to require the SATs to be one of the things that they want you to do to get in.
How are they going to gauge people coming into college then if they don't have a baseline score?
Yeah,
I just know that my kid he took the pre-SATs this past last month, I think it was, because he's a junior, and he was freaking. He did well, but he was still freaking out about it. And his guidance counselor, I was talking to her, and she was like, "Well, by the time he is going to apply to college and stuff, a lot of the colleges aren't even going to be looking at SATs anymore."
Hold on, I need to call Lan and Kurt Nolan or something. Excuse me, sir. Do not flex with your intellectual superiority in our chat. Thank you very much. How dare you?
Mathematics are two totally different things. I have no idea what's different about them, but they are two totally different.
Wait, Landon, isn't the answer to first question, isn't it just one?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
That first question looked like it was written in Russian to me. That's as much as I know.
Those are trig, that's trigonometry.
Yeah, well, that question
sine x squared plus cosine x squared. I think that's just one.
My kid is doing something right now with equations, so that's driving him nuts. Let me see if I can get him to tell me what it was.
John was correct.
Oh,
so there you go. Well played. I had no idea what that fucking meant. I was going to say potato as an answer, and I think I'm still correct, but I'm not going to argue the point.
It's for triangles.
I don't know about them either. What's a triangle?
Oh,
Landon, do you know anything about stoichiometry?
Fuck yeah.
It's not.
That's what my kid is doing right
now. It's my favorite fucking word, stoichiometry.
I have a history behind that, but
look.
Apparently, that's Red Eye's favorite word.
Yeah, it's myth. Yeah, I know, John. It's the Mythbusters, man. But it was highly entertaining, and it did educate me enough so I could understand the concept of why an explosion takes place, and that there's a sweet butter zone. If you get all of the things mixed just right, that explosion is far more energetic than it would be if it wasn't in the butter zone. And stoichiometry is just it's stoichiometry.
He's doing it right now in his science class.
It's just knowledge. Not knowing something doesn't make somebody stupid. But I do think it was just a misunderstanding because when I was in the car, I wasn't really paying attention to what you were saying, so I was just talking about stoichiometry in the chat. I wasn't really trying to correct you there.
That's all right, dude. Don't worry about it, man. It's all good. I was being a massive fucking douchebag. Don't worry about it. It's fucking science is great. Blowing things up is great, and one of the reasons I used to fucking love the Mythbusters is I used to blow a lot of shit up. And thermite is such a wonderful fucking thing. It's like, oh my goodness, they cut cars in half with it. They fucking So stoichiometry, because they basically built a model house and then pumped it full of gas, put fans in it to oscillate the air to get the mix just right, and then detonated it. And you watch the windows get blown the fuck out of this building. It's just awesome. And what was the other one? They launched a water heater up like a fucking rocket taking off.
Apparently the hosts of Mythbusters, they didn't really like each other.
It's true. Jamie and Adam aren't what you'd say best of friends. I think they've got a massive amount of respect for each other's abilities. And because they're opposite, it was a odd couple sort of thing with the show, and the show was fucking great. But I don't think Adam heads around to Jamie's place and has beers and a couple of fucking dabs with him on the weekend. But I don't think there's any hate or animosity there either. There's a hell of a lot of professional respect. They're just two very different dudes.
Yeah, it's kind of how I just put up with you, John.
Because
every Thursday, I put up with your bitch ass.
Because
me and Missy.
What do you mean you love me? What do you mean put up with
No,
me?
me and you have to deal with Gene.
Oh yeah,
but we try our best to be professionals about it. Even though he has herpes.
Yeah. On Sunday nights I dread now, just so you all know.
Medication I'm taking is causing my skin to break out, and
oh no.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Don't worry about that, mate.
You can't see anything. Like if that's like, I can't tell you. Like if you hadn't said anything, I would have no idea.
Yeah, Shab's being a bully.
Shab is being an arsehole about it. I'll admit that. So I'll have to side with John on this one. You're a bit of a prick, Shab. You're a horrible friend.
I do what I want with Gene. He's my pet.
Yes. Is the medicine helping at least?
Well, it's for like migraines, so yeah, it has been helping there. It's weird because like I had this sensation where I'm like constantly yawning, and my neurologist says like, "Oh, that might be like a type of migraine." So it was
migraine that makes you constantly yawn.
Yeah, it's like I wasn't tired, so I didn't feel like I had to sleep, but it's like I was just yawning, and it was only on the left side of my head, so it's this weird pins and needles feeling.
That you have to yawn.
Yeah, it feels like you have to yawn, but it's also mixed with like this pins and needles sensation. And it's like, when you're about to yawn, but it was like that sensation only on the left side of my head. So the medication has helped with that, but I'm on so much medication. And then like they call side effects, and then you take medication for the side effects of the medication. And then you deal with all that pharmacy stuff. And it's just medicating the medication to medicate the medication.
Sometimes I think that the side effects of medication are worse than what you're dealing with originally. Like I know sometimes medication isn't necessary, so the side effects are just like a necessary evil. But it's like, oh, you want to poop better. Here, come take this pill. And then at the end of the commercial, it's like, just be warned that it will cause blindness, your hair to fall out, your eyeballs to twitch, one eye will go twisted, your skin will turn purple, you might get polka dots, your intestines will fall out of your butthole, you could get a third nipple growing on your butt. Like it's just like a crazy list of all these insane fucking things that you would never want to happen to you because you want to poop better.
Well, like one of the problems with that is that like they include every single potential side effect, and the overwhelming majority of people are only going to experience like 2 or 3 of like 5 side effects. And the way it works is like in any study, like if anyone complains about anything, they'll just, or if there's any documented cases of somebody claiming to have an effect, they'll put it on the list of side effects. So usually like there will be like a list of dozens of side effects, and only like 1 or 2% of the side effects on that list are actually typically experienced and actually have some kind of like chemical link to the drug. And then most people will only experience a fraction of like those like 5 or like 6 side effects. So, which I find that typically is the case. I still feel
like those 5 or 6 side effects are just like even just the chance that might be something that could happen to you because you took this medicine because you wanted to have more frequent bowel movements. Like it doesn't seem worth it to me. I don't know. I feel like there was probably a much more like holistic way to go about pooping than to take this crazy medicine that is going to give you butt nipples and make your eyeballs fall out.
Yeah, but like the stuff that like I deal with, like if I wasn't taking medication, like I have like seizures and stuff like that, so I could potentially die from that. So
That's what I mean. Like I know some of them. That's why I said at the beginning. I understand that some medications are a necessary evil. Like you need those things in order to be able to function. But when it's just like the other ones that are like aren't necessarily necessary. Yeah, aren't necessarily necessary.
Well, that's what herbs are actually good for, because like some of the medications I take can cause issues with like insomnia. So like I'll take like valerian root or like lavender. So sometimes taking herbs or like herbal remedies as a way to accommodate the side effects of medications, because typically like the effects of the herbs are more benign than the effects of medications. So like if you took tranquilizers, like they'll knock you out right away. They definitely are much more potent than like valerian, but valerian does what it needs to. It gets you to sleep, and it doesn't have the same kind of side effects that like tranquilizers or like sleeping pills have. So
Zyprexa, I used to be on that shit, the olanzapine based, and I ended up on 10 milligrams, and that shit, it's zombie medication. It is. Yeah. They just went, you've got bipolar disorder and ADHD, or the adult blah, blah, blah. Here, take these. And I went, okay. And for 5 fucking years, I walked around just, nah. And I stopped taking them. And I went, the psychiatrist went, well, we'll put you on lithium then. And I went, what's that? And they went, basically, it's a heavy metal. And I went, oh, that's the stuff Kurt Cobain was on when he put a shotgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger and turned his head into a fucking canoe. And you want me to go on that, and I'm a needle phobic? And the psychiatrist went, yeah. And I actually went, how's get fuck sound? And he went, I can't treat you then. And I went, yeah, obviously you fucking can't. Can you, mate? You fucking drop kicking. Off I went. And I've been self-medicating with stuff. We won't go into that.
That's the other thing. Like
legal in my country.
The pills that like make you have suicidal feelings. Like why? Like that's just so. Oof.
Two Guns asked, do we get drug ads? Not like you do in America. No, that pharmacy fucking shit that you get on TV, it's just like, I recommend ad block for everybody in America at that point when you start seeing pharma ads that
it's
are just like
weird to me too.
It
makes it so it seems like it's more about the money than helping people.
Well, to me, my perception of it is every pharma ad looks like it belongs on the RoboCop movie, the original RoboCop movie. They have that feel to them, all of it. I don't know what it is. Can go from any era in American TV, and if it's a pharma drug ad, it should be on the RoboCop movie. It feels so fake, so fabricated, so false. There's no sincerity to it. I love some of the goofs that you see on YouTube that take the piss out of them. It's like, has that old lady going around talking about anisole? She's going, oh, it's freed up my old butthole or something like that. It's fucking funny as fuck. But those pharma ads are just weird as shit, and it's definitely an American thing. I don't remember them over here. We might see ads for headache pills like Panadol and Band-Aids, but not for some antipsychotic.
I do know that like with conditions like bipolar or like schizophrenia, the medications are like a catch-22 because they're like pretty much a way to chemically lobotomize somebody. They do cause like chronic fatigue and extreme lethargy and everything. And it's like a person with schizophrenia, it's like, okay, they won't have hallucinations or delusions, but then they'll talk about how the medication causes like extreme brain fog and it makes it difficult for them to like think clearly or get out of bed. So it's like, like, how are they gonna like work and function when they're on this kind of medication? It's like it eliminates the side effects, but then it adds all these other side effects that are just as debilitating as the condition itself.
If you guys are enjoying this extremely uplifting conversation, please consider tipping to Pimp's PayPal. We have a $100 stream goal today. We've made $50 so far. We need 50 to finish the goal. We have a half hour left. Please do it so Pimp does not yell at me.
Actually, we got to go a little bit long tonight because we might have started a little late.
Well, yeah, now technically we're in the second hour.
Oh, we could even go later. So,
yeah, so. No,
I don't know if I was here for your tip, Two Guns. So that was 20. So we need
30 to go.
$30. to make the stream go.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you guys are
$30,
legends.
guys. We can do this. We can do it.
Freaking sweet. Pimp is very mad, says Galen. Well, yeah, we know he's mad. He's always mad. He's got to be in his butt about something or other, you know. It's like, get me money. E-demand. E-demand harder. You're not E-demanding hard enough. You should be E-demanding more, etc., etc.
Like loosen the fucking rope he has tied around his nutsack a little bit. He might not be such a cranky person.
Yeah.
Maybe take like, you know, because you know those butt plugs that are like balls, but they're attached to each other and they get bigger as you go deeper. You should just like take a couple of the bigger ones out, so he only has a couple of the little balls in his butt, and then he might not be so cranky.
Maybe. I don't know what butt plugs look like at all.
You don't.
Butt plugs, depending on the butt plug, it will look like
anything you like, really.
Teardrop, really, like kind of like this kind of shape.
What do they look like? Enemas or?
Well, the only enema I've ever seen is like a squirt bottle. So, you know. I think you mean suppository, but no. Yeah. So it's like pointier at the top and then goes fatter and then usually has some sort of like stopper with like a jewel or like a tail coming off of it. Or there's like the ones that are just like a bunch of beads connected and the beads get bigger. So it's like a little ball and a bigger ball and a bigger ball and a bigger ball. And as you go deeper, the balls get bigger.
You want us to send you one, Gene? You could try it out.
Yeah, we can send you a couple.
I don't have anything against
cone shaped. Yeah, cone shaped is yes. Thank you.
I don't have anything against people who are gay, but like I had a rectum exam at the doctor, and it fucking hurt.
Non-gay people do butt stuff too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, whatever your kink is, like if you're into butt stuff, fine. But I'm saying it's like.
No,
that was one of those painful things.
Shove fucking things in there when you're not prepared and open and well. You got to get your fucking self loosened up. You can't just go shoving things fucking in there, Gene. That's not how butt stuff works.
I guess when like I guess like what is it when I'm 30 when I have my next like rectum exam. I guess I got to loosen up or whatever.
Yeah, you got to tell him. You know, maybe he should tell you a joke or something. Get you in the mood a little bit. Relax your sphincter muscle. If you tighten that shit up and expecting it, of course it's gonna fucking hurt going in. Come on, Gene. This is like elementary basics here.
It's like, okay, now just relax. I'm going to shove my fist up your ass all the way up to about my watch, so I just want you to rest.
I don't want to say this wrong, so I think it's Midnight Goddess. Just tip 10. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So that means we need $20 more, guys, to hit the goal.
Oh, yeah. Excellent.
Please. Pretty please. Pretty please. Thank you so much, Midnight Goddess. You are a sweetie pie.
Bill Hicks says, why bother with the butt, though? We have genitals for a reason. It's like, hey, we don't kink shame around here. Oh, no, sorry. I always mix that up. We fucking kink shame around here. So, yeah. Why bother with the butt? What? Prison wallet?
Shanny
say what?
Just posted a video that says, Shanny for Christ. She's got hashtag BPD, LBGTQ. Let's hear Jason hate me. So, apparently those two have been fighting for a while.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, poor Shanny. At least
That's
she found
just
it.
a train wreck on top of a fucking dumpster fire.
You didn't what?
Good God.
She's fun to watch.
The last I watched, I saw Black Eye TV was going over one of their most recent things. And I think Shanny was doing a stream and Jason was playing a video game and adding like commentary to whatever Shanny was saying. And at one point, Jason said something that was a little bit racist. You know, not uncommon for one of them to say something racist, but Shanny then goes and stops him and like lets him know like it's not okay to say that. you know, that's racist what you just did, and it's embarrassing that he did it. And that's kind of funny to me because she says racist shit all the time. So for her to be like, oh, you embarrassed me by saying that is just fucking ironic, I guess. I don't know, hypocritical maybe. But then
a tad.
He got mad that, you know, she corrected him, and then for legitimately like 45 minutes to an hour, he was just screaming at her like, will you just leave me alone? Just leave me alone. Leave me alone. And she kept picking at him and poking at him and prodding at him. And then it turned into she's the victim and he's been yelling at her all day. And poor me, poor Shani. And like, granted, fucking Rev did a racism. That's not cool. Racisms are not okay. But
what the people in glass houses shouldn't have a bucket full of fucking stones being launched from a trebuchet. Just saying. Like, Jesus Christ, Shani. Seriously? I've seen the video.
She corrected him. Like she did. She corrected him. She said it's not cool to say that. And, you know, he apologized for it. And then for the next 40 fucking minutes, she was just picking and prodding at that dude. And now all of a sudden he hates. It's so fucking. It's the weirdest goddamn soap opera train wreck I've ever come across in my life.
What can you say that hasn't already been said about that woman and Carrot Boy? Jesus fucking Christ.
So, Missy, do you want to cover Shani instead of like the Filipino drug war or the Cameroon crisis?
I don't know what's more.
The only reason I was talking there is because a notification popped up on my fucking laptop right here that told me she was live.
Oh God, bad laptop.
I don't want to like
bad laptop.
Spend my time fucking talking to her, talking about her, or discussing her.
We should scold the laptop. It's the laptop's fault that this all happened. So bad laptop. You are a very very bad
Discord
laptop.
I'm in has her like they have a bot that will like generate all the notifications for you and just like let you know whatever channels that are put into the bot whenever they go live and stuff. So I just have to shut that notification down.
But to be fair, Missy, like if you're discussing like news and politics and everything, how do you discuss it without it being depressing?
I don't think that there is a way to discuss it. I mean, it depends on which news and politics and things that you're covering. But we're also the Morning Wood. We're not exactly a political fucking podcast here.
Well, I'm saying on the pedestrian stream.
Is that what you want it to be? You want it to be a news and political podcast?
Yeah, kinda, sorta.
Well, then that's what you have to say. Because when you tell me we're going to go into more funny, lighthearted videos, and then all the shit is like kids dying and fucking school buses on fire, that's not exactly lighthearted and funny.
Well, last stream I had a formula where like we'd watch.
I wasn't on the last stream.
Oh, I forgot. But we'd have a couple news stories, and then we'd have like a video of like a dog nursing kittens. And then we'd have a few more depressing stories, and then we'd have a video of like a duckling going to sleep.
It's up and down, up and down.
Like, it's just an emotional
it was crazy.
You were putting people on for no reason.
No, we'd have like cute animal videos in order to like bring down the melancholy and everything.
Shab just said it was up and down, up and down, up and down, and crazy.
Yeah.
That is an emotional roller coaster you are putting people on.
Yeah,
so I have nightmares.
So it's like you. One video be let's watch this dog be a surrogate mother to this little kitten. It's like, oh, isn't that cute? And then the next story is like 6,000 civilians have been shot in the face by fucking other civilians in the Philippines because of the drug war.
About serial killers, and you want to talk about mass murderers and crazy serial killers from around the world and shit like that. Like, I'm down. I'm all for it. Just tell me that. Don't tell me we're gonna look at happy, funny stuff and then show me school buses on fire.
I didn't tell you it was going to be happy, funny stuff.
Yes, you did. You said this part of the fucking thing.
No,
you
we
did
were
at some
watching,
point.
Chad was there.
we were watching like news stories, and Miss Parker and you are like, "Oh, this is sad." I'm like, "Oh, once we get through these, I promise there are some like fun videos.
No,
like once we get past all the new stuff."
The rest of these are all happy, fun videos, and none of them are happy.
Maybe I misspoke, but well,
here's
to
an
be
idea.
fair,
Just what about a general topic for that show, and then just go down rabbit holes? That's actually a pretty good way to do shit. Pimp and I, the older format of the show, would look at just random news articles, and then we'd end up discussing something utterly unrelated to the original news article within 5 minutes. We've dove down this rabbit hole that's gone down 50 different forks. That's kind of fun to do, and it is entertaining to watch people from where they start to their finishing point. Can be just the whole conversation, just the process of the conversation, how it goes from the starting point to an unrelated topic 15 minutes later is kind of fun. Those conversations are enjoyable to watch.
Two Gun says, "Yeah, that formula needs some work."
See?
Maybe just a little, or maybe section it up to have a block of bad news stories about people being shot in the face, and then a nice block of happy kittens suckling on titties or whatever you want to watch.
Kittens and titties. That's the way to win them over, Gene. Kittens and titties.
Yeah. What? Okay. Kitties and titties.
Kitties and titties. I don't know why there's not like a channel named that yet, where it's just kitties and titties.
Oh, Rule 34 has just come into play, and I do believe we're going to go and look now to see if there is one.
There has to be a kitties and titties channel.
There has to be. Let's find out, kids. Google foo. Hey, ya.
All right, Gene, go run on your treadmill. It's time.
I already did this for you.
Well, there's Titties and Kitties on Twitter. There's definitely a Titties and Kitties Twitter handle. Oh, look out. Are you kidding me? Have we just found the promised land?
Kitties and titties?
No, I was lied to. Google, you lied to me. All right, we're going straight to YouTube then. I'm just going to do a channel search now. I have to know. We all need to know at this point, don't we, kids? I don't think YouTube's going to... But there's plenty of videos called Kitties and Titties.
If you look up kitties and titties on Twitter, the very first thing that comes up is feminist fuck toys $7.99 OnlyFans. My first view in the morning, and it's a picture of her laying topless with her titties out and her kitty laying on her tummy, and her kitty looks suspiciously like your cat, Shab. And I want to know what your kitty is doing on that lady's tummy with her titties like that.
Mike.
And it says they're in Canada. So what is your kitty doing? You need to have a talk.
Just going around hanging out with all the titties. What the hell?
I'm going to send this to you so you can see this.
My kitty gets more titties than I do. This is fucked up.
Well, it's official.
I just sent it to you on Twitter.
There is no channel called Kitties and Titties on YouTube. That I'm depressed. I'm disappointed in humanity, actually. I'll be over in the corner sulking.
Google would probably take it down because they'd claim that it's too inappropriate.
There's a whole bunch of stuff with kitties and titties on Twitter. This one says, I lost it. Where did it go? Kitties and titties taught me one thing. Lesbians love kittens. Doesn't it look like your cat?
Yeah, it looks like my kitty. It does.
What is he doing over there on that lady's titties?
Again, I don't know how he does it. Apparently, he gets more titties than I do. This is fucked up. What's his secret? What's the kitty's secret? When I have to figure it out.
You'd be like, yo, what's going on here? Because I like titties, and you're a kitty, and you seem to be getting a lot of titties. So, hook a brother up with some titties.
Chitty kitty's gonna kitty titty. That's what they do.
I'll be talking about titty kitties, guys.
Everyone's on Google going, oh, titty kitty.
Kitty titties. What?
There's an account on Twitter called Kitties and Titties, but there's no kitties or titties. And
you guys obsessed with cat nipples, guys. This is
want
weird.
The cat nipples. I'm not talking about cat titties. You're getting confused.
They're a bunch of weirdos.
You were getting confused here.
No. You guys have a problem.
Nah, we don't. We good.
I do have a problem. I have a problem because we still need $20 more on the fucking stream goal.
Oh yeah. If we do,
that's my problem.
That's our problem. Because if we don't, we all get beat up, yelled at, and we have to do mathematics because Landa's going to make us do stuff.
Oh damn!
Man, that's going to suck. I'm going to have to think. That hurts. It's like, ow! Don't make me think.
I've never had a catfish, let alone gas station catfish. I don't think I would trust any seafood from a gas station though.
Oh God.
The best catfish, you have to go fucking mud hole fisting. You got to fist a couple of fucking mud holes, catch yourself a good catfish.
Noodling? Gene, would you ever go noodling?
No, we're going to change it to mud hole fisting. That's I'm officially petitioning the American government to make it a legal requirement to call it mud hole fisting. I don't think noodling is an accurate description of what's going on. It's like
you're using your fist as a noodle.
No, you're fisting a mud hole, though. It's like, bam.
Apparently, catfish can breathe on land.
Sons of bitches. They're going to take over.
Like
the emus tried.
Remember Muddy Mud Skipper?
Yes.
Yeah, in Australia, I think there's like an invasive species from Papua New Guinea. It's called the climbing perch. And it's this fish that can actually, it can breathe on land and everything, and it will climb twigs and so forth. And it will, its fin, it will like erect its fin or whatever, and it will cause like animals that try to eat it, it will strangle them. So they won't be able to devour it. And that caused a lot of problems in Australia. So apparently there are also these like frogs and these toads that are a major invasive species as well.
Cane toads. Yeah, that's our fault because we had the cane beetle and it was fucking up sugarcane crops. So some scientists went, well, these things eat cane beetles. We should bring them over here. What could possibly go wrong? Well, nothing in Australia until very recently knew how to deal with the cane toad. And the local fauna would just go, oh, chomp, 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 and fucking die. So snakes would eat them, they'd die. Birds would eat them, they'd die. But funnily enough, evolution is a real thing. And I've noticed something only when I moved up to my new house. I kept finding cane toads out the front of my house and they weren't run over. They were very fucking dead. And there wasn't a mark on the top of any of them. And I'm trying to work out what's going on. And one day I found one that was flipped onto its stomach and they've just got a hole punched into their gut cavity. And the crows and the magpies and butcher birds and the other smarter birds have learnt to flip them over, peck their fucking guts out, rip out their livers, heart, and the other internal organs that aren't affected by the big poison glands on their shoulders, and then leave the rest to rot in the fucking midday sun, and the ants come and take care of the rest. So our native fauna is evolving to deal with cane toads. It took 50, I'm not sure when they were introduced, but at least half a century for our birds to, but they are adapting to them. They're eating them and not dying anymore, and that's fucking awesome.
I know in Thailand there's a whole bunch of puffer fish that are killing people.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's one of the most dangerous foods to consume. Like if they don't
you're not supposed to eat it, but
fugu.
Apparently they're like super aggressive and they're swarming this river that people like live on and fish and like everything is controlled by the river in this one area in Thailand, and people are like dying from getting bit by these things, and they couldn't figure out what the bite was because it's such a weird bite because it's a little beak. and I saw it on like River Monsters or something like that, that everyone's dying from puffer fish, and it's not from eating them, it's because they're biting.
They are.
Villa Vendetta says that she just sent $20, so I think that means we hit the stream goal, guys.
Yay!
We hit our $100 stream goal, and Pimp is going to be so thankful. Thank you, Villa. You are a sweetie pie. Thank you, everybody who tipped. Landon and Two Guns, and I don't know who else was the tipper. I can't remember, but thank you, guys.
Nice. Yeah, things that sting and bite are not fun. Stingray's had it. Got one in the foot. That's the most painful bite / sting I've ever received. That was just on levels of pain that
That's how the crocodile hunter died.
Yep, he got one in the chest. I can't imagine what that fucker went through.
The crocodile hunter's daughter is having a baby, and they're doing a reality show. And I was like, can you imagine what growing up being that little grandkid is going to be like? He's going to grow up deathly terrified of stingrays, or he's going to like be the next Steve Irwin and like go and hunt all the stingrays and kill them.
No, they're going to probably be a really good conservationist. 3 generations. That's going to be what? Because Steve Irwin's dad.
Can't you just let me have my fantasy of a vengeful grandson killing all of the stingrays to avenge his grandfather? Can I just have that one thing?
Stingray was just doing what stingrays do, and Steve Irwin knew this.
I just want in my head for there to be a grandson that grows up and says, "I am going to avenge my grandfather, and I'm going to kill all the stingrays."
Wow!
And have him go nuts and hunt all the stingrays in the planet. I just let me have that.
Just get Roman with it, an eye for an eye. Just go out there and just debarb all of the stingrays so they're defenseless, sitting on the bottom, going.
Exactly.
Wow! And we'll just cut the fins off all the sharks too. Why not?
The one animal I think we should eradicate are mosquitoes. They're actually genetically modifying mosquitoes so they'll become infertile and go extinct.
Here's the thing, though. What are we going to knock out of balance in nature when we do that? Because something's going to get knocked.
Yeah.
Something will get knocked. We just don't. We can't see it. We can't anticipate it because we're not as smart as we like to think we are sometimes. Cane toads are a really fucking good example of scientists getting it really fucking wrong. Horribly wrong. So wrong, in fact, that half a century later, we're still dealing with the fucking legacy of their fuck up. And here's the best bit. We only put them in Queensland, our state. They have spread from Queensland into New South Wales. Vicious rumours that they're nearly down to the ACT, but they don't do that well in cold. But here's the other thing cane toads do, is they change their blood chemistry to adapt to arid environments. So if they've got to cross a bit of desert, they will fucking change their blood chemistry so they can endure hard.
Something in the water to make the frogs gay.
Yeah, no, these things are far worse than just gay frogs. They can change their blood chemistry to travel across arid parts of the country to get to more green fertile. So they might cross to Western Australia yet through the Northern Territory. And if that happens,
then they're going to turn those frogs gay, and you don't know what a whole country full of gay frogs is going to be like.
Yeah. Rabbits, here's my state's stance on rabbits. We don't have rabbits in Queensland except for all the rabbits I see running around the fucking cemetery up the road. And the Moretonshire Rabbit Board used to come and stay on our farm and lay poison traps out, but rabbits don't exist in our state. That was our state stance. Beg your pardon, sorry?
Isn't there an island full of bunnies?
Maybe that's in Japan.
We had an island full of snakes. There's an island full of tiger snakes here. I shit you not.
Can we blow that island up?
You just spray the snakes around everywhere and they can fucking swim. So, yeah.
And Japan, they have a rabbit island and they have a cat island.
Yeah, cat island.
I want to go to Japan and visit Bunny Island and Cat Island.
I don't understand the purpose of Rat Island, but okay.
I want to go to Japan.
No, dude.
Cat Island, not Rat Island.
I thought you said Rat Island.
No.
I've heard of Cat Island. I was going to say, Rat Island sounds like a big no-no.
That's New York City, isn't it? Rat Island?
What's the one island in Australia?
Technically, yeah.
The one with the quokkas?
The flockas? Waka
No,
flockas?
No, the
Oh, shit.
There's a whole bunch of waka flockas going around.
No, here's the thing about Australian marsupials. All of the big versions of sea kangaroos, think of miniaturized versions that are not much bigger than a fucking chihuahua. There's these things.
Why did God make it so that kangaroos can just set up and like box your ass?
God's a
Go
douchebag.
onto YouTube and
box.
look for.
Who taught the kangaroos how to box people?
They kickbox. They lean back on their tails and kick the shit out of you. They'll gut you like a fish. Like the middle toenail on a kangaroo is like
My
a
sister
talon.
used to do that when we would fight when we were little.
Lean back on a tail?
Obviously,
Ooh.
not her tail. She would just like fall down on her ass and then start kicking me. And I'm like, that's not fair. Because her legs were always stronger than her goddamn arms. And I'm trying to hit her. And she just like literally just flops down and starts kicking me.
It's when you tip the bookshelf over on her and just jump up and down on it. Done. Game over. Yeah, it's God didn't want people in Australia. Yeah, apparently not. There's some of the things down here. It's like, what in the fuckity fucking fuck is going on of evolution?
Have like spiders that are the size of like dinner plates. And shit.
Oh, golden orb weavers are awesome, and they get really, really big. They can catch birds in their webs.
The Goliath bird eater.
No, this is just an golden orb weaver. It's called a big orange and black spider, and it spins a golden web. It's fucking awesome, and they can get. So, if I was walking in the bush and I come across a really big one, it'd kind of be about the same size leg span as a face hugger in Alien. It could wrap its legs around my fucking face, and it'd just be sitting on my face going. It's like no, they can get big.
That you want.
And what else have we got?
We got the $20, Lando. We hit the stream goal.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you heard us, but Villa Vendetta donated the 20 that we needed for the stream goal.
Oh yeah. We did it.
Kangaroos are boxy boys, though. There's some great videos. There's actually a really good video of a guy. His dog was attacking a kangaroo, and kangaroos will just kill dogs really easily. And this bloke knew it, so he runs in and gets between his dog and the kangaroo, and he shapes up like he's in a fight. And the kangaroo fucking rocks up like it's shaping up, and he fucking starts punching on with the kangaroo, and he has like a little whack, 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 punches the kangaroo a few times. Fucking funny as shit. He got in a bit of trouble.
Don't not tip just because we hit the goal. You know.
Yeah, we
need some money, so you can definitely still consider continuing to tip.
All right, new tip goal of $35 has just been set. Boom, done. 35 to go. Come on, folks. We got about 15 minutes left, or Pimp's going to be really angry and beat up Shabby.
Yep.
Oh, that's not much of an incentive.
He's going to put his dick in one of those cages, and those do not look comfortable at all.
Ow!
Especially if you get a boner.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I saw porn that had some dude, and he had his dick in this cage, and it looked like his dick was trying to come out, and the cage was not letting it, and it looked kind of painful. And every time that she would even just like lightly like tap on like his balls or like touch the cage in any way, he'd be like, oh, like that. So I'm assuming that it kind of hurts.
Wow.
But maybe in a good way, because he definitely didn't seem like he wanted her to stop touching it.
Cage jump.
He goes around studying this shit all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out why. Okay.
How often has Red Eye come across like a wild kangaroo or wallaby?
Where I live, hardly ever. When you go out west, they're fucking everywhere. You just got to get away from towns. As soon as you get out of town, you'll start seeing wildlife everywhere.
Now,
yeah.
What do you think would happen if you try to walk up and give one a hug?
I think you get punched in the face.
If it was a male, you risk having you being gutted, literally gutted.
Then They're not like friendly. I don't.
Things.
Something that you want to like go up and like cuddle, Gene.
Look, I've been shooting kangaroos, and I remember I wounded a big male one, and I went to put it out of its misery. And as I approached this thing, it was crawling towards me. It was mortally wounded, and it made a pit bull sound like a friendly little puppy. The growl it was doing, it was fucking satanic. I just went, fuck that. And go and listen to a male koala's mating, like when it's being territorial. It's like, it's terrifying when you don't know what they are. It's just like, there's a demon outside. It's this thing that's just going.
Mountain lions, I think too. I think it's mountain lion. It's some sort of like cat up in the mountains that makes this cry that almost sounds like a satanic child crying, and like you think it's a human like in danger or being like tortured, but it's just that cat.
I think it is pumas.
Pumas?
Well, pumas are mountain lions, but
yeah.
But can you get like kangaroo steaks in Australia?
Yes, absolutely.
You are on this kangaroo thing today. Do you want a kangaroo? Do we need to get you a stuffed kangaroo doll? Do you want to cuddle?
What? I think it would be cool to have a pet kangaroo.
You can't own a kangaroo. That's a no.
You'd want a pet patty melon or one of the little tiny small ones. You do not want a Western red as a pet, because if it's a male, it's going to stand up bigger than you. And when it's pissed off,
biceps.
Oh no, wallaroos.
Not buff like Eugene. You could take the kangaroo. Come on.
There's a different bunch of kangaroos and wallabies, but there's this one species called a wallaroo, and these things look really cool. They got like a reddish ginger to a black coat, and when you see a big red kangaroo, these guys they're built. Wallaroos look like they've been in the gym, shooting steroids up into every fucking part of their body that they could perceivably get a needle into. And here's the other really weird thing. Well, not weird, but it's kind of cool. They actually mate for life. So they select a mate and they'll keep that mate for life.
They're like penguins.
What happens if you go near its mate?
The male will fuck you up.
You just have a death wish of you want to die by kangaroo.
And
that's how you want to go out.
And for the record, emus aren't the ones you really worry about. It's cassowaries. And all you got to do is look in the news. A gentleman in America, I think it was last year, his pet cassowary fucking played murder ball with him, and he no longer exists. Cassowary 1, former owner, non-existent, doesn't even get a score. He's just out of the game.
I'm looking at patty melons right now.
They're cool.
They're cool.
Yeah, I told Chad about cassowaries.
Yeah.
Aw, they're cute.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm at this fucking property out west, like it's 700 kilometers west of the coast, and the property's called Mount Rose, and it's got this beautiful rose garden that's been there for 3 generations of the family. And we wake up one morning to the sound of a pistol being shot, and to the irate farmer going, "Get out of me fucking rose garden, you little furry fucking cunts." Bang, 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 bang. We fucking run outside thinking he's being attacked by a fucking, I don't know, whatever. And we see him, he's opening fire and he's missing every shot because he had this tiny little snub-nosed 22, the smallest gun I've ever seen, and it's just horrible to handle. You couldn't hit shit on a stick with it. If you held it up to an orange,
22.
It was just
not like that big.
Yeah, little tiny pistol. It was a toy, it looked like. But he's out the front. It's got a 10-shot clip, and he's just going bang, 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 just shooting.
A 10-shot clip and a snub-nosed 22.
Yeah, it looked dumb, but he's out west. Look, he had a 30-shot clip for his fucking 22 rifle. Had a big banana clip hanging out of this. He says, "I don't like reloading ammo in the middle of fucking shooting vermin." That was his logic. It's just like, get me a big banana clip. So he'd load up 30 shots in his 22 and walk out and start going bang, 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 bang. But he's
bang, bang, pew, pew.
He's shooting at these things because I'm thinking, oh, look at the cute patty melons, and he fucking opens up on them with a fucking handgun, and I'm like horrified, going, "What are you doing, dude?" I'm going,
"Why would you?"
Yeah, just shoo him out of your garden, for fuck's sake. He's going, fucking couldn't be bothered.
It's like a rabbit. It's like an Australian fucking bunny. That's what those things look like.
So fucking funny. The same guy that owns this farm, one day he's lying in bed and he feels a nip on his finger like a little Boop. And he goes, no big deal. Goes back to sleep. Gets up the next day, drives about half an hour into town, and he's at a working bee for the local school to paint it. And he says he was painting, and he's watching his hand go up and down, and he's painting. And he said, one stroke I went down, I had one hand, and then there was 2, and then 4, and then 6. And then I woke up in hospital 3 weeks later. That little boop on his finger was one fang of a death adder going on his pinky finger. And if it got both fangs in, he would have got a lethal dose and he would have died probably that night in his sleep. But because it only got one fang in, he got half a dose and he lasted several hours before he collapsed. Spent 3 weeks, and here's the best part of the story, in hospital for 3 weeks. He was paralyzed, couldn't move a muscle. The only thing in his body that would respond is when the nurse would come in and give him a sponge bath, he'd get an erection. And the fucking nurses thought it was the best thing ever. Like, he literally could not move his fucking finger. But his dick would go rock hard as soon as the nurse come in and give him a sponge bath and get down near his groin. Typical man, typical males.
Like,
so there you go.
Kangaroos, camels in Australia. And this woman had a pet camel. And the camel came into her house and started repeatedly laying on her over and over again.
Why the fuck would you want a pet camel? Those things spit and are ugly.
We export camels to the Middle East for racing. Our camels that have evolved over here since we started bringing them over have they're a bit hardier than the camels from the Middle East now. So they import our camels to race because they get up and fucking go. How funny is that? We export camels to the fucking Middle East. Crikey. What the fuck, mate?
I want a pet camel.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't.
There's this ranch near me, and you could they'd have camels and reindeers on Christmas. You could feed them. Yeah, I want a pet camel and a kangaroo and an otter and a raccoon.
You are a strange boy, Gene Morgan.
And I'll keep them in my city townhouse.
And I will love them, and I will pet them, and I will call him George, and I will love him, and I will pet him like this. And he's a good George.
I will keep him.
There's a guy in a New York City apartment, and he had a Bengal tiger. And the people called and complained because they kept hearing noises, and the landlord came over to check up on it, and he opened the door, and the tiger mauled him. And then they're like questioning his roommate, like, how did she not know that he had a tiger? And he's like, hey, I don't know, it's New York, everyone keeps to themselves.
Jesus fucking Christ. What the fuck?
That makes no sense. I don't believe it. Some of these
but that's a small New York City apartment. I have a Baltimore townhouse, so I think that's more suitable for something like a cheetah.
No.
Yeah.
Should start out small with a Siamese cat, maybe.
You just have a death wish, like.
No, cheetahs actually aren't that dangerous. They actually they're not strong enough to knock people off their feet. They're actually very friendly and docile. Yeah, Egyptian pharaohs and monarchs in Rome actually kept cheetahs as pets.
You are not an Egyptian pharaoh. You are Jane Morgan of Baltimore. What? You do not need a cheetah. Get a fucking kitten.
You got to bond with a creature. Any creature that you can be eaten by, you got to bond with.
You don't even have. Let's get you a fucking goldfish. Can we start with something easy and get a goldfish?
Oh God, Ms. Fox. Let's talk about Ms. Fox's history with. Ms. Fox had a fish tank, and she used to just get things that were destined to die. I just called it the death tank, and it was like a death timer. And every fish that ended up in there was bound to perish. Sorry, Elaine, I had dropped you in it then. The fucking death tank. God, I made a joke out of it. But yeah, everything that went into that fish tank died. So cats are pretty self-sufficient as long as there's some food once a day and there's a clean source of water and there's somewhere for them to shit. They don't give a fuck. Cats will just do their own thing. And make sure it's an inside cat. You don't want an outside cat.
Let's just see if you can keep the goldfish alive.
I need to get a litter box for my cheetah.
I hate you so much. I really do.
Just get a Bengal tiger. Fuck it.
Jab, can you help me and just tell him that fucking cheetahs are not no.
Did you kick him off the show?
Nah, not yet.
I'll kick Gene off the show.
What's that?
Okay. Did you see on the news? There's footage from somewhere in China, a fucking Siberian tiger. One of, they estimate, less than 10 left in China. There's footage of it running this is the luckiest motherfucker on the planet, by the way. This tiger's running through a field and you see it pounce on someone and it fucking lands on them and drops them, but then it just kept going instead of sticking around to eat them. And then there's more footage of the tiger. These people are yelled at the farmers to get away because there's a tiger, and the tiger's going, "Oh, you're warning my potential prey that I'm here. Fuck you then." And it came after them. So they've run to their car and got in it, and the tiger's just smashed the window straight out of the back of the car. And they've drove off as this tiger's going, "Argh!" It's like, holy shit. But then the really cool part was, instead of shooting it dead, the local police had tranquilizer darts and they've tracked it and tranquilized it, and they're sending it off to the breeding program instead of murdering the fuck out of it, which was a really good outcome. And
yeah, because there's only 10 left. If they killed it, like, that would just be.
Well, there's 10 left in China. They estimate there's a couple of hundred left in Russian territory, but they're very extremely rare to see them in Chinese territory. And this one was running around in a village, jumping on people but not eating them, and was really pissed off though. It was like it didn't like people. It was not a domestic tame kitty. When they're putting the cover over it in the cage, it's like it is fucking raging at these. Yeah, no, fuck having that for a pet.
No, but look up videos of people getting attacked by cheetahs. They're not that strong. Like, they jump on the person shakes and throws the cheetah off, and the cheetah runs away.
They just seem to be asleep, and this dude's gonna slice your neck. So let's not.
Cheetahs are not that dangerous. They rely on their speed to catch their prey. And
is that how you look for your pet, John?
Humans are stronger than cheetahs. So
like, do I want this? Let's see what happens when a human gets attacked by it. Oh, that looks alright.
If it's stronger than me, I don't want it as a pet. But it can't knock over bigger human. I'm buff. Yeah. It's not going to knock over me because I'm buff.
Well, the average human is stronger than a cheetah.
Well,
people associate them with leopards and stuff, and they're actually not like they're pretty lightweight.
Oh, that's right. I know this guy that one day he was roaming around, just pouncing around the fucking African fucking countryside, and he might have come face to face with a certain creature that lives on these places, and he peed on it. The poor thing. Mm-hmm. Poor thing was minding its own business, just hanging out in the bush, and this fucking human being walks up to it and pees all over it, just pissed on it. Poor thing. Ran away all confused and stinky. All the other animals didn't want to know about it because it smelled like peas. Like, you smell like human. Yeah, it's like one of the saddest things I've ever heard. What a bully! What a bully! I'm not going to name this person Landon. Thank fuck.
Gene.
No, it was Landon. Landon did that. He peed in the face of this poor little critter that was just might have been trying to ambush him as Landon was going to the toilet.
Pee on the poor fluffy thing.
He did. Mm-hmm. I've actually chatted with Landon while a lion was breathing on him through the wall of his tent. I get a message like, so I'm sitting here and there's this thing with really stinky dead meat breath. And I was, what the fuck are you talking about? He said, there's a lion leaning up against my tent and it's breathing through the tent because it kind of knew that Landon was there. But luckily the lion didn't know that if it just went with one claw and went along the wall of the tent, it was an instant, like a fucking pre-packed snack ready for the lion. Landon's like chatting with me and there's a lion going, because he was in the middle of Africa. I'll let Landon divulge the identity of the animal that was urinated on if he wants to, but it's a great story. You have to hear him tell it.
I think Gene is the type of person to pee on animals for fun. That's what you want to pet
animals. Why would you?
I don't.
What makes you think I'm the kind of person who would do that, Missy? God.
Landon needs to tell this story. Is he going to be on the show shortly? Because I won't ruin. Landon must tell this story again. He could tell this story 100 times, and I will sit around like a kid going, "Tell it again, tell it again. Tell us about the part where you peed on it." Yeah.
Why did you pee on it?
Well, it was either that or get eaten, potentially. So Landon yelled out to the guide, what do I fucking do? And the dude, this is advice from the guide. Yeah, the dude yelled out, just piss on it. Piss on it. And so he did. And the kitty went and ran away.
Makes sense, but he peed on the kitty.
Yeah. Just minding to say, well, it might have technically been trying to ambush kill him.
That's what Gene's going to have to do if he gets a pet cheetah. He's going to end up peeing on it, and then you're going to be a person that pees on a kitty, Gene. And
yeah. You have to dominate it.
You're going to have to pee on your cheetah because, as Two Guns pointed out, a 50-pound dog can knock a human off balance. So your cheetah is going to knock you down and eat you, and you're going to have to try to pee on it.
Yeah.
Well, like German Shepherds, I think, are stronger than cheetahs.
Could be right.
The German Shepherd to protect you from the cheetah, and you're going to pee on the German Shepherd instead.
Videos of people getting attacked by cheetahs, it is very underwhelming.
You know, it's like, no big
You want
deal.
a more savage attack? You want your attack?
Well, I mean, they're very skittish, and when they actually attack people, they're very easy to fight off.
So you just want a more brutal attack. I get it.
I don't want a brutal attack. I want to have a cheetah that, like, when I go to bed, it lays on the bedside and I pet it and it purrs.
Cat.
Because they're
I
not
don't want to read
a
T.
cheetah.
Morgan dead by cheetah. He forgot to pee on it.
I need to know one thing. Who's going around being attacked by all the different felines and rating their attack ferocity? Bengal tiger, I gave an 8.5 because that thing basically gutted me like a fish and started eating my intestines within 15 seconds. You know, I shit in a plastic bag now, but it's okay. Next week we test out the fucking tiger, the African lion.
On Conan O'Brien, Adam Sandler came in as a guest, and he showed a video where he's in Africa and a cheetah jumped on his back and he just shook and the cheetah fell off and ran away. And then there's another video of this woman who the cheetah bit her arm and she just slapped it and the cheetah just ran off. So,
I think that if the cheetah is in the house and is your pet, you're going to get eaten, Gene. And you're going to forget to pee on it or you're going to be too scared. And I'm going to read that you died.
There are lots of people who have pet cheetahs, and I don't think there's a single.
I don't think it's legal in Baltimore.
Killed by their the government doesn't have to know.
I'm going to tell them.
Oh.
What are you going to do if you have an empty bladder and you get attacked, Jane?
Exactly.
What are you going to do then?
Ooh,
Spit
carry
on
around a bottle of pee.
Nah, you got to get South Park on him and thumb, butthole, boom, dominate that animal.
Put your thumb in your.
That's the whole reason Gene wants a cheetah.
Oh my God!
Stick my thumb up its ass.
Galen says a friend told him yesterday that she likes being peed on.
No, but I'll get a pet chimpanzee to protect me from the cheetah.
They'll eat your face.
Right. That will work out just great.
Those psychotic little meat-eating fuckers will eat your face. There is actually a lady that happened to where the chimp basically ate half her fucking face. No,
that happened in my state.
Get a sugar glider. Get a little sugar glider. It's like they're really cute. You hold them in your hand. You put them in front of a fan. They pretend they're Superman. Fly. Have you seen what sugar gliders do when you put them in front of a fan and they feel an air current? They stick their little arms out and pretend they're flying while they're lying in your hand. It's so cool.
We'll get you a ferret, right? And we'll paint little spots on him.
A honey badger.
Spotted ferret.
John, get a honey badger.
A honey badger.
A honey badger. Yes. Yeah.
And a Tasmanian tiger or devil. Tasmanian devil.
I'm trying to keep you alive. Can we just get you a ferret and put spots on it, please?
No, I want a Wolverine and a honey badger.
I want a hybrid of a pangolian and a honey badger. And I want an armored honey badger, basically. I want to create armored honey badgers.
Haunting me when you die. I don't want your ghost coming and crying to me like, Missy.
You know how they get capuchin monkeys? No. They train capuchin monkeys to take care of disabled people. I'll get a bunch of capuchin monkeys to take care of the honey badgers and the cheetahs and everything.
Yeah, that'll work out, right? Just perfect. Those are like snacks.
You're gonna be
cheetah's gonna eat his fucking helper. You can be
No,
going through helpers every
They'll
week. 'cause
clean
it's
the litter
just gonna
box
eat
for
it.
me and take them out and bathe them and everything. So if they can bathe disabled people, then I'll teach the capuchin
Yeah, but the
monkeys
disabled
to-
people don't usually eat monkeys as snacks.
Well, like I'll teach the capuchin self-defense, and that's what the chimp's for.
Wait.
Oh
And
my
The chimp
God.
is there to defend the
You could
capuchin.
literally bypass all of this and just get a fucking ferret and put spots on it.
John, wait, I've got it. Get a fucking anaconda, and that'll keep those fucking monkeys in line. You just say you fuck
Yeah.
up, you get
You
fed
know
to that
what?
fucking
Go
thing
ahead
over
and
there.
Die. Just die.
I'm gonna die of like methane poisoning because I'm gonna have all these animals in my house, and they're gonna just fill my house with methane from all their shit and farts.
just do what they did on Mad Max 3 and farm the methane. You're good then.
Yeah.
Sell that shit.
Just
Monetize that
yeah.
shit. Profit, dude.
You just need to get weed, Gene. Then you'll fucking shut the fuck up about wanting a cheetah.
Get yourself a fucking a quarter ounce and a guinea pig, and you will be just as content. I promise you.
Yeah, get a gerbil.
Or what about a capybara?
Pygmy goat. Have you seen those little bastards? Little tiny pygmy goats. They're so cute. They are awesome. We had Angora goats on our farm, so I don't mind goats. They're kind of cool pets. Not the smartest animals, I must admit. They're not smart. They're really dumb. Incredibly stupid, actually. But yeah, cute pygmy shit. Little pygmy goat. That'd be a cool pet. Let's get him a pygmy goat.
No, what was that? I know like wolverines and honey badgers and otters are all related, and ferrets. So a ferret.
So you could just get a ferret and be fucking content.
Well, otters are
Landon
cuter
in the
than
chat
ferrets.
says, thank you, Red Eye, John, Missy, and Shabisky, your greatnessness for a fun show. Thanks, folks, for helping reach the stream goal. Thanks, chat room, for a fun chat. Cheers.
All right. I just want to say we're all in agreement that John should get a pet rock as his first pet as a test run. And if the pet rock survives a month,
And then
we
we
might
go with the
authorize
gold
another
pet.
pet. Yeah. So
Mhm.
pet
We're gonna
rock.
work our
Then
way
we'll get
up.
him a pet stick.
Yes.
Seriously,
Okay,
John?
so
No, John, next Thursday, we got to see a rock with some googly eyes on it, and we're going to check on its welfare every week over a month when you're on Pimp Show on Thursdays, and we'll talk further about pets after that. If the rock survives, I think we've John's.
Then we
my
can
way
move
up
up to
to
a stick.
sea monkeys after the pet rock.
yeah.
No, I think a
Okay.
stick is next after the
Yeah.
rock. If you can take care of the stick, then we'll talk
Yes.
about
Then we'll get you some pet water.
Shab, let's calm down, Shab. Jesus, let's
Okay,
Stick-
yeah.
the stick's
Getting
a
too
pretty big
crazy.
responsibility. Let's just calm.
Okay,
All right,
so
folks.
we're past our time here. So we're gonna go ahead and end the stream, guys. Thank you guys for hitting the goal. Give us a like if you haven't yet, and go fuck your grandma.
Whoa, can I watch? Oh yeah.